Hello, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we're outside a place that you have not been. Where is this? What is this? So, this is the backyard of the archive, and we are going to try not to trip, make our way into the archive space. Turn on the lights, and here we are. So this is the basement, what we're calling the film vault at the archive. And so, yeah, so it's done down here. We have to kind of sweep up the dust. But I'm going to be, while we're doing the show, I'm going to be building some shelves, because that's what I like to do. I like to multitask. So let me check, make sure you're actually seeing me. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. I planned all this out to this point, and now I'm like, ugh. So today's Memorial Day, and we started off with some somber footage that was from the National Archives, the return of World War II dead, Saipan, Marianas Islands, and that was all shot in 1948. So this was, basically after World War II, we were getting the remains of our fallen soldiers and servicemen and servicewomen and bringing them back so that they could be buried. So I tried to see if I could find a bunch of stuff about Memorial Day and memorial activities, and I found like 2 great films, but they don't have a soundtrack, and so I'm not going to show those. And I've already shown a lot of the Memorial Day films that I have. Plus, I'm in a basement, so, excuse me. So we're going to totally go off and do something else thematically. It's about Mars. So here's Mars and Beyond. Enjoy.
The energy of the sun can be seen in part through the storms that violently erupt from its surface. The energy of the sun is energy of life, and this energy is necessary in order for life as we know it to evolve. But if a planet is too close to the sun's energy, as with Mercury, there is little chance that life can exist. Mercury will more than likely never possess life. Even at a greater distance from the sun, Venus is bombarded with intense solar radiation. Its thick atmosphere holds the heat of the planet. It helps make Venus far too hot to support life as we know it. The third planet out from the sun is the Earth. The Earth's atmosphere shields it against the sun's harmful rays. With water, oxygen, and moderate temperatures, Earth can support life as we know it. To date, the Earth is the only known planet, the only known place where life positively exists. But man has begun to reach out, to explore his space neighbors. He has left the Earth more than once, and his spacecraft have visited various parts of the solar system. Man is seen where he never saw before, and he's walking where he never walked before. But of all our previous adventures, we have not found direct evidence that life exists elsewhere in the solar system. But our spacecraft continue to search further out from the sun, to the planets between us and the stars. There are a number of hazards in space that must be avoided if we are to seek life at great distances from the Earth. In particular, we must avoid contact with space debris. Interestingly enough, the debris that may pass our spacecraft could possibly hold spores or primitive life forms that could become active in the proper environment. Although a remote possibility, we could pass evidences of life en route to other destinations. Of all the other places that life might exist in the solar system, the chances appear greatest that life may have at some time existed on Mars. After traveling through space for nearly 1 year, a unique landing craft approaches Mars to soft land on a planet covered with dust. In the Martian dust, there may be biochemical evidences of life, carbon compounds. There may be carbohydrates, sugars, and starches that give energy to Earth life, products that originate with plants. There may be proteins, the nuclear materials in cells. And there may be lipids, fats and oils that are also valuable to Earth life. We're talking about molecules made of very special elements: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. These combinations give rise to molecules that make up known life forms. Combinations that can control a cell, to those that enable an organism to think and to remember. In order to detect the biochemical components of life, we need to understand the atoms that make up their molecules. From the electrons that spin about in their orbits, to the nuclear materials. The search for life takes us from incredibly small atoms to incredibly great distances. The search for life takes us to Mars, and our second landing craft prepares to descend to the Martian surface. What kind of planet is Mars? We believe Mars to be extremely cold and dry, but yet not hostile enough to completely discourage life. Could this place support life as we know it? While there are biology experiments aboard the lander to detect living creatures on Mars, there is another system aboard that is vital to understanding Martian life and its development. It's a specially designed package, several Earth rooms full of equipment condensed into a small volume with highly specialized components. It's called an organic analysis instrument, and it's man's answer to possibly detecting life-related molecules. With its components, we can chemically determine if life as we know it has existed on Mars in the past, or if it exists there today, or possibly may exist there in the future. Of all the machinery aboard the lander, the organic analysis instrument is considered one of the most vital in searching for life elsewhere in the solar system. Its components are to examine the Martian soil for the biochemicals of life. After a small soil sample is obtained, it is heated to about 390 degrees Fahrenheit. This will vaporize many of the carbon compounds that may be present. Eventually, the soil may be heated to over 900 degrees Fahrenheit to vaporize or in some way change the remaining substances. The gases will later be removed in the process and eventually passed through a column where the vapor of each substance travels at a slightly different speed. The separated molecules and atoms are then accelerated, and according to their particular size and makeup, they will fall into collection plates that will identify each substance present. So it is the vapor of a substance, how its atoms and molecules behave, that enables us to identify the components that make up the Martian soil, to possibly unfold the secrets of Martian life. So the knowledge of the smallest components of matter leads us to the potential discovery of life elsewhere in the solar system. Today, it's the planet Mars, but tomorrow we may go deeper into the solar system, further away from the sun and the Earth. Such a journey would take us by the remains of what might have been a planet in the past. We call the fragments that are found here asteroids or planetoids. These are too small to hold an atmosphere, and more than likely we will not find life or search for life on these minute planets. Yet we may pass by more than 1,000 of these asteroids. Traveling deeper into space, we come to the largest planet in the solar system, Jupiter. This giant planet seems unlikely to support life. Its atmosphere contains poisonous gases. Its location is far from the sun. Moving deeper into the solar system, we come to Saturn, another giant planet, but one that will probably be remembered for its rings rather than life that might exist there. There's little chance that Earth-like organisms can exist on Saturn. Moving still deeper into the solar system, we come to Uranus and Neptune, two large, cold planets. These are too far from the sun and too inhospitable to life as we know it. It is unlikely that life exists in any form on Uranus or Neptune. Moving past these planets, we come to Pluto, a small planet more than 3 billion miles from the sun. Pluto is so far away that we're not absolutely certain of its characteristics. But its distance from the sun more than likely means its surface is frozen year-round. Pluto is simply too far from the sun, too far from the energy that is needed to sustain life. Yet there are other suns or stars, about 100 billion in our galaxy alone, and a certain percentage of these suns have planets, solar systems of their own. And somewhere, there are places that probably have life, perhaps places like Earth with intelligent life. It may take us a while to locate other intelligent life forms in the universe, but we have taken our first step today in searching for life elsewhere in the solar system. It has begun with a Viking mission to Mars.
That's some great stuff. That's what, obviously I was raised on, and got very excited when Viking landed on Mars, and the photos were incredibly underwhelming. I was like, that looks like a dirt lot that's near my house. But, it's still pretty cool in hindsight. Well, so that is a scientific look at Mars and the other planets. These next two films deal with marketing various products. And somehow Mars makes their way into this. They're both by Wilding Pictures, and Wilding Pictures did a bunch of training films for the U.S. military and for the U.S. government, but they also did a bunch of sponsored films. And this is a sponsored film, Memo to Mars. Enjoy.
You are now entering the offices of Martian Planetary Products Incorporated. Lunar City, Venusburg, Marstown, Jupiter Heights, Saturnville, other branch offices in all larger galaxies.
Hi, Sally.
Oh, good morning, sir.
My, what a nice tan you have. Did you have a good trip?
Okay.
I understand it's very still this time of year.
It's quite... I never have been able to sleep on a saucer, even those new double-deckers. And they gave me a roomette right over the jets, naturally.
Oh, that's too bad. Can I help you off with your things?
Please do. Well, how's the boss? Grumpy as usual?
Oh, no, he's just fine and very anxious to see you.
Huh? Okay, let's go.
Well, that's funny. I was sure he was here a moment ago.
I'm over here with this lunar contract. I don't want to be disturbed for at least an hour. Unless, of course, our Earth Zone district manager gets in this morning.
Oh, but he has come in, sir. He's right here.
Mac! You old so-and-so.
Morning, Chief.
Awfully nice to see you, fella.
Thanks.
Awfully nice to see you. Come on up here. You know, Mac, you're going to have to forgive me, but I've just fallen in love with this little gadget.
Oh?
Ever seen one like it?
Hmm?
You can make yourself disappear anytime you want to. Complete privacy any time of the day. Get twice as much work done.
Oh, I know. I took one along with me on this trip. I wanted to get as close to him down there as I could, Chief. You know, get right in and get the real sales picture on the QT.
Of course. Of course. Sit down, Mac.
Thanks. Because, as you know, they still haven't the faintest idea we've been observing them all these years from the sky and using television, and I didn't want to upset that, naturally. Not... Well, without this baby, I couldn't have accomplished half as much, Chief.
Ah, so you did accomplish something then. It was worth the trip.
Yes, it was, I think. In a way. Of course, it'll take me a day or so to get all my notes together. Get something down on paper, you know, for the committee meeting.
Of course, of course. You've just arrived, boy. Naturally, naturally. But say, you could give me sort of a, breakdown now, couldn't you? Just to fill me in on the broad picture, before the big meeting.
That's just what I intended doing, Chief. Because, frankly, I'll need your help in planning this report. The committee's going to be a little disappointed, I'm afraid.
Oh?
They'll have to wait a bit longer on this Earth project than they'd hoped. We're just not going to be able to market that convertible Jet 16 down there right away.
Really? What's the matter with it? That's a beauty of a car. I drive one myself.
I know, I've got one of my own at home, but, well...
Oh, to invest for them, eh? Can't take anything that fast, I suppose.
No, it isn't that. Be surprised at the advances they've made since our people first began looking into that field. At least the area I was in. No, that's not the trouble. As a matter of fact, Chief, that model would sell like hotcakes down there. They'd be crazy about it.
Really? And just what area did you look into exactly, Mac?
Well, you got a map?
Sure. Say, that thing is supposed to light up. Oh, heck, it hasn't worked right for a week.
This is what I always do to mine. Ah, okay. Now, let's see. Here we are.
Pretty big marketing area.
Sure is. And from what I was able to observe, those people demand and get up-to-the-minute products, all right. There are automobiles down there that knock your eye out. Good-looking, comfortable. They can go fast. It doesn't cost much to run them. And their tires, believe it or not, are better than ours. They've got almost everything you could ask for. And they're very receptive to new advances in design, better mileage, and so forth. So I know they'd be really interested in our model. But there's a hitch to it. And it's not easy to explain. So frankly, I thought the best way to get the situation across to the committee was to take some magnetic picture footage of just what goes on down there.
Sounds like a good idea. Say, how's about running it off for me now?
Well, okay, Chief, but remember, I haven't rehearsed this. I'll be just sort of ad-libbing from my notes, just trying it on for size.
Oh, that's all right, that's all right. It'll be in the way of a little preview, so to speak.
That's right.
Shall I send for a projector?
No, got my own. Ever see one of these? It's a camera and a projector all set to go. Just put it down anywhere, aim it at the wall, and you're in business.
Good heavens, no. Looks like an ordinary briefcase.
I know, quite a gimmick. With that, and this disappearing gadget, you'll be surprised what I was able to do. Got right into their homes. Even rode around with them in their cars without their knowing a thing. Took recordings of their conversations and everything. And brother, have they got a problem. In fact, Chief, the one thing that in my opinion would make it a waste of time to try and push our models down there is, well, you see, the way it is now, they can just about barely use their own cars.
Frankly, Mac, I don't believe I quite understand that.
I know. It's kind of unbelievable when you think of some of the things they have accomplished. But maybe this report of mine will give you some idea.
All set?
Uh-huh.
Shall I turn off the lights?
Please do.
Say, Mac, I thought you said you took motion pictures. This is just a still shot, isn't it?
It only seems that way, Chief. See, they're moving.
Oh, yes. They're moving, but not the cars.
Not the cars.
Engine trouble? Gas?
No, just sit tight, Chief. You'll find out in a moment. This is James Crosby Rossett, Jimmy Rossett, a salesman. Nice guy. Nice home. Comfortable, cozy, nice kids, Bob and Vicky. Nice wife, Millie. Nice dog, Skippy. Nice car, and nice day for a picnic, just the family. Relax, take it easy, forget the office, forget the housework. In fact, you can forget the whole thing.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You in a hurry?
Yeah, I'm in a hurry. Why don't you start moving?
Get out and look around. You see anybody moving? Fathead. I'm going back and pop that guy.
James Rossett, now you sit back. You're just making everyone miserable.
Well, this is no picnic for me, you know.
Looks like there'll be no picnic for us either, Daddy.
You know, Chief, curiously enough, the suicide rate down there isn't as high as you might think.
That is remarkable, isn't it?
Yes, and what's even more remarkable, Jim Rossett goes through this same sort of thing every working day of the year, too. He gets off to a good start in the morning. But sooner or later, Jim the salesman is trapped, and so is Ed, the doctor there next to him, and Frank, an executive with a busy day waiting for him, and Helen, a housewife, trying for a little shopping in town, and in fact, millions and millions of others just like them. Farmers, truckers, city workers, all with the same problem. Now we run into the next problem. A curious social change has come about on this planet. Used to be having an automobile was something of a distinction. Now, having a place to put it is a distinction. Well, Jim got the parking place, but a lot of other people didn't get it. Shoppers, for instance, customers for all the stores on that block. If people can't park, they can't very well buy. However, Jim did get a parking place. But this was a very exceptional morning, for Jim is in luck. Not only did he get a place to park, but this morning, what do you know? He's only got to walk a mere 4.5 city blocks to his first call. But just a moment, that luck may not last. Well, apparently Jim's going to be all right here, but really, there just isn't enough time in his day to stop and decipher signs like that. And this man's time is precious, too.
Shut up.
His name is Joe Matson. That's a load of farm produce he's trying to get through this traffic, or it might be furniture, or clothing, or baby carriage. The point is, Jim Rossett may not realize it, but his life, and Joe's life, are woven around their country's highways and around each other far more tightly than either of them think. Now here's Jim returning to his car, ready to start for his next appointment. Jim depends on Joe for the food in that truck. The farmer who raised that food depends on Joe to deliver it. And they both depend on Jim, for if there aren't any Jims to buy it, there's nobody for Joe to deliver it to, and therefore no point in growing it in the first place. That's the kind of economy these people have, and it's a good economy, because it makes for a mutual faith, respect, and trust.
Where you going, you half-wit? What are you trying to do, you big ape?
Well, we've seen how Jim starts a typical working day. Now let's tag along with Joe for a while. Sure enough, stopped again. Of course, school children have to be taken across the street safely. That's fine. But if the highway didn't run right through this town, it wouldn't be necessary to tie up traffic this way. Incidentally, statistics show that there are 5 kids like these born every minute who are going to grow up, buy cars, and drive them. Or try to drive them. Imagine what that'll be like. Well, let's see how far Joe can get this time. Not very far, I'm afraid. And this will go on all the way down the block for all those houses while Joe just sits and waits. But somebody's going to have to pay for that waiting time. And in the end, it'll turn out to be someone like Jim when his wife buys the groceries Joe's carrying. Meanwhile, Jim has another call to make, if he can find a place to park again. In city after city, downtown business is suffering badly. People in outlying districts will shop there rather than buck this kind of thing in town. In fact, the cities are getting so crowded that millions of people are moving to the suburbs, where they have to have cars to drive to their jobs back in the cities, where there is no place to put their cars. But understand me, that doesn't mean things are any better in the small towns or even further on out. Let's look at some of the problems Joe the trucker faces in getting produce from the farm to the city. Here, the road surface had been damaged by weakened subgrades during the spring breakup. That repair work will be doubly costly, because it will only have to be done all over again the following year. The road itself simply is not up to the necessary standard for the volume of traffic it gets. And of course, that traffic will be stopped while this repair work is going on. Most county and township roads are graded with materials from the vicinity of the right-of-way, regardless of their suitability for road construction. These subgrades become soft when wet, and graveled surfaces are soon lost. Many bridges and culverts were built a long time back and are just too narrow for comfort. The same applies to these narrow underpasses, and that means too narrow for safety. Many of these roads are too curved. You just can't see where you're going or what's coming up at you around the next bend. And there are plenty of them. City worker, trucker, farmer, doctor, plant worker, practically everyone in this country goes to work by motor transportation. For in the final analysis, to be sure, there are vast stretches of countryside and ranch land and desert where motoring is still a pleasure, and where there's plenty of room to park, if you happen to live in the wide open spaces. But eventually, you come to this.
Mac, what, for goodness sakes, what is the reason for all this? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But there is a reason for it. Many of the roads they're using now were built years ago when they had about, say, 10 million motor vehicles. No roads could possibly have been designed and built then for this kind of traffic. They're wearing out. They're just falling to pieces. They're too small and there's not enough of them. It's as simple as that. And they've built up their whole economy around their roads. The development of this country is tied in firmly and inescapably with their roads and highways. Yet the barrier to any further national progress is the bumper of the car ahead of them. These people are rapidly approaching the strangulation point right now in a great many areas. This nation can literally choke to death. All because of these absolutely inexcusable road conditions. Yes, it's even possible that somewhere, right now, this could be happening. In any rush hour, on any day of the week.
This could be not so funny. You know what I mean?
This stuff in my truck's gonna be ruined before I ever get out of this. The whole load.
Well, mine won't spoil, but bother what it'll cost before this is over. If this is happening all around here this morning, I don't know what this city's gonna do for food. I just don't know.
If this is happening all around here, the Thompson plant just ain't opening today, brother. And it's a defense plant.
Mommy, let's go home.
Dear, I'm afraid we can't very well. Not right now.
Well, I just missed probably the most important appointment in my life. My wife took the car this morning. She and the kids are probably stuck in this mob by now. She was taking them in to get their shots.
Isn't this terrible? I've never seen anything like it. I was supposed to be on duty an hour ago.
Seems the traffic gets heavier on this road every day.
This is a fine jam. Looks like the end of the road.
What's the matter with those people down there? Are they all insane to let this go on?
No. Actually, they're not insane, I don't think so. But such incidents occurring in strategic parts of the country, and you know what could follow.
Brother, they're in a jam, all right. Well, I guess we better just forget the whole project.
No.
No? After seeing that?
I've got just one more little scene to show you, Chief. I think you'll agree the project is worth, well, sort of keeping on ice for a little while longer. There's some hope, I think.
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
You get caught in that road mess back there?
Whoa, that was a brute. And I never saw one like that.
Just black coffee.
You have to be pretty good behind the wheel these days or get into some other line of business. It's driving me half crazy trying to keep out of trouble on these roads and streets. Sometimes I think I will get into some other business. Oh, I can't take this much longer.
Well, I like my business. I don't want to change it. But I'm going to change something else. I'm tired of being pushed around by this stupid road business we're all in. I'm the only one who can change it. I'm the only one who can change it.
I'm the only one who can change it. And I'm going to start changing it right now.
You're the only one, Jim?
That's right. I'm the only one. And you're the only one. And everybody out on the streets and roads, they're the only ones. Everybody who owns a car, drives a truck or a bus or an ambulance or a fire engine in this whole country. Every one of us has got to get in there and pitch. Sick and tired of not being able to drive my own car anymore.
But, Jim, where are we going to start, all of us?
Well, the big headache is just a whole hatful of all the smaller headaches all over the country. We've got to start right in our own hometown. There's the Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to see the mayor. And I'm going to write letters to all the people who ever asked me to vote for them. Local service clubs all over the country should be able to do something about this. If we want better roads, we've simply got to get together on the situation.
Jim, really, do you think it can be done?
It better be done.
Hello, Daily Express. City editor, please. Al? Jim. Listen, I'd like to have lunch with you tomorrow. I've got... Huh? Well, can you possibly break it? That's right. This is very important.
Helen, you know as well as I do, once the women get started on this, they'll be pretty hard to stop. Now, how about tomorrow afternoon? Well, you can just put it on. That can wait.
State Highway Department? Let me speak to the commissioner, please. James Roscoe. Yes, I'll hang on all right. Don't worry.
But of course, it's a problem for the PTA, too. Every parent in town will be with it. And Louise. You do remember the trouble with the hot lunches, don't you? Well, we straightened that out all right, didn't we?
City manager, please. Hello? Say, I'm calling from a phone booth down at Main and Oak. I've just found a parking space after almost an hour. How'd you like to get on your hat and coat and come down here and take a look at this street? And bring your car. But Harry, we can be doing something about it ourselves at the same time. We can get up a committee representing groups all over the country. Of course it can be done. You know it can. You're traveling all the time. You've seen it being done. There are plenty of places where people have gotten together to do something about this situation, where good roads are being constructed, excellent highways, and throughways, where you can cross the streets, where you can drive in the middle of town, where you can park near the stores, because this is what we want. And this is what we need. And believe me, this is what we can get if we all go after it.
Sorry about that. So behind me, there is a shelf. There's a shelf. First one of, I don't have a final count, but it's going to be more than 37. So, and they're different sizes. I can reuse some of the shelves that I have, but a lot of them I won't be able to reuse. So that is an interesting challenge that we will try to figure out. Anyways, what the hell was that? Was that about asphalt? Like, what was that? And why did that have anything to do with Mars? Why did they put that thing at the beginning when it was obvious the story was the angry guy at the end and the call to action? I guess there was another film that GM did called Give Yourself a Green Light, which was also talking about you have to green light highway projects and street projects. So, wow, what a long walk to nothing. And I wasn't 100% sure what this film was about. I watched a little bit of it at the beginning and then a little bit just to make sure that it was okay, but crazy. All right, so this next film is probably even worse. And then we're going to go over, but hey, you're on vacation, right? This is Trail of the Rocket. Another Wilding film that somehow has something to do with Mars, kinda, but it's really about Oldsmobile, I guess. All right, here we go. Enjoy.
When you take the wheel of this Oldsmobile, there's a big new thrill for you.
That's it. Okay, kid, we're off the air. Good show. Let's kill those lights over there. Let's clear the set for the next show. Good show.
Thanks, boss. Golly, Johnny, you were in great voice today.
Boy, you're so sweet to say so. And it's so true.
Hi, all. Here's another batch of fan letters for Lucille and Johnny.
Oh,
Thanks, Billy.
golly, look at them all.
Hey, here's one from our sponsor.
Maybe you better open that one first. Good idea.
Dear Lucille and Johnny, you are cordially invited to make a personal visit to the Oldsmobile plant in Lansing, Michigan. Oh, Johnny, look.
Meet men and women and see the machine that builds the famous rocket engine.
Gee, signed by Mr. F.E. Skinner, General Manager of Oldsmobile.
How about that? I'd like to see that rocket engine plant myself. I understand it's the largest and most modern high-compression engine plant in the world.
It sure is, and it costs millions of dollars.
Well, that's what I understand. Well, I'll see you kids later.
So long, Hal.
Johnny, wait till I change. I'll have lunch with you.
Okay, sure.
Then we can read these letters together. See you in 10 minutes.
Hi, Steve.
Well, hello, Johnny. Come on in.
See the show?
Well, I didn't have time at all. Right up with these interplanetary experiments.
Interplanetary?
That's right. We read in the papers about how the Army is getting radar signals, returns from surface to the moon. Well, same thing with our
You're trying to
experiments.
tune in on broadcast? You're trying to tune in on broadcast from the moon and the planet?
Sure. And you'd be surprised at the things we pick up with this experimental and research equipment.
Really?
Excuse me, Johnny. Research lab, Steve speaking. Research lab, Steve speaking. Okay, I'll be right in. Okay, I'll be right in. I've got to run down to Studio B, Johnny, so... Well, I've got to run down to Studio B, Johnny, so...
I'm just waiting for
yourself
Lucille. Okay, I will. I'm just waiting for Lucille. We're going out to lunch. Television signals from the moon and the planet. Television signals from the moon and the planet. He must think I'm crazy to believe that. He must think I'm crazy to believe that.
You are most prompt. Bob. We will speak in one of the languages of the Earth people, because you will soon be using it again, for the next day or so.
Yes, sir.
So for the time being, we will forget the Marsonian tongue.
Marsonian tongue?
So please rehearse as much
Earth
as possible, so that you will be
Oh,
proficient in
no.
its use.
It can't be.
I have orders to send you on a special mission to the planet Earth. As usual, you will take a flying disc. You will take off from this point and land approximately here.
It is. It's Mars. I've tuned in Mars. Hey, Steve, come here, quick, look.
Now, the reason for this special mission is this. For some time now, we in the Interplanetary Intelligence Department have been greatly concerned over the tremendous scientific discoveries and advancements of the Earth people.
That's true. They now know about the atom, and they
Next thing we know, they will be sending explorers to invade us here on Mars. But they don't have the flying disc. How could they? With rockets. They do have rockets.
That's right. I'd forgotten about the rockets.
We don't dare forget anything or overlook any possibility.
But what if the Earth people did come? We visit them occasionally, although they don't know that we do.
That's different. We don't try to change their habits. But can you imagine what would happen on Mars if the Earth people came up? First thing you know, they'd have us chewing gum, reading comic magazines. Our airwaves would be full of soap operas, bebop music, and our super television sets would carry advertising commercials in color. No. So you see, we must stop the possibility of an invasion from Earth by rockets. If we don't, we might even end up paying income taxes. So your job is to go down to Earth as quickly as possible. Find out how far they've progressed in the rocket industry. And you know the rest.
Sabotage?
Yes, that's it. If necessary, use this. Now, here is the plan.
Hello, operator, get me the FBI. No, make it the United States Army, and hurry. Wait, get me the President of the United States instead. You see, there's a man coming down here from Mars, and...
No, I don't want the chief operator.
No, I don't want the chief operator.
Oh, never mind. She'd never believe
Oh,
me.
never mind. She'd never believe me anyway. Nobody would.
Johnny, I've been looking everywhere for you. I'm ready. Oh, and I've checked the schedule. We can go to Lansing, Michigan tomorrow and see the rocket engine plant.
Say, have I got something to tell you? What? I just found out that...
What's the use?
Oh, what's the use? Even you wouldn't believe this. Come on.
Good morning. Have a seat, please.
Johnny, what's on your mind? Is something bothering you?
Nothing. Oh, nothing that you'd understand.
This looks interesting.
What is it?
It's about the rocket engine. Like that one right over there. Listen. The rocket engine is the direct result of the work of Mr. Charles F. Kettering. The research on high compression engines took more than 30 years. The rocket engine owes its tremendous power to its high compression design, plus outstanding mechanical efficiency. In outward appearance, this revolutionary new engine looks much like any other. However, there's a world of difference inside and a world of difference in the performance of the Oldsmobile rocket. For example, high compression...
Lucille, look! He's here.
Who's here?
The man from...
Mars.
Yes, that's who it is.
Oh, Johnny, you and that imagination of yours.
And I know why he's here, too.
What?
But it won't do him any good. And if nobody will believe me, I'll fight him alone. Why, I'll be the lone rocketeer.
The long... Oh, no.
How do you do, Mr. Martin?
Someone else to see you, Mr. Clark.
Oh. Hello, Lucille and Johnny. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Mr. Clark.
Are you all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Lucille, this is Mr. Martin. He's going to join us on our little trip. Mr. Martin, may I present Lucille and Johnny, better known as the Oldsmobile Singing Sweethearts.
How do you do, Mr. Martin?
It's a pleasure. Martin, I know who you are.
Oh, you do? Are you sure?
Yes, and you're in the wrong place. These rocket engines are built to supply powered automobiles. They don't drive the kind of rockets you think.
Well, that's very interesting.
Here are some glasses you'll wear when we get into the plant. And here are your visitor's passes. That's right. Now, let's see. I think first you'd all be interested in seeing our model layout of the entire plant. All done in miniature, but to the exact scale. Now, this section here is the scale model of the brand new rocket engine plant.
Why, it's just like a toy.
It's not a toy, Lucille. It's a tool. It's a plan for efficiency. You see, long before the millions of dollars were spent on the actual plant, the methods engineers laid out and built this scale model in order to determine the best possible location for each production machine and every foot of conveyor line.
Look at all those little men and machines.
Actually, Lucille, there are more than 3,000 individual pieces in this layout. The way they're laid out represents over a year of careful planning on the part of our engineers, superintendents, and plant foremen. The men who would actually be responsible for the operation when production got underway.
A year?
And as you can imagine, during that time they made hundreds of changes, improvements, and refinements before the plan was finished. For example, there were many new ideas for production methods, as well as for brand new machines. Machines entirely new to the industry. This is a plan that represents the last word in the scientific and efficient production of the newest, most revolutionary, and the most powerful engine ever installed in an Oldsmobile, the rocket.
I see.
What's that over there? Excuse me.
Well, perhaps you'll understand better when we actually see the batteries of big new transfer machines, the ultra-efficient conveyor systems, the super-sensitive inspecting devices, and everything else that makes this the world's most outstanding modern engine plant. And here's something else. When we're actually in the plant, I know you'll be impressed by the wide, clear aisles that represent just one of the many features designed for the safety and convenience of the people, the folks who work here. You see, since the rocket engine plant was to be entirely new, all the 246,000 square feet of it, planning it from scratch became kind of an engineer's dream in reality. I mean, such things as the lighting equipment could be the latest type of industrial fluorescent. The result is more and better light without creating glare. And believe me, good lighting is important for the type of precision work we do here. Why, even the windows are of special tinted glass designed to eliminate glare and heat from the sun. But that's not all. Again, for the benefit of those of us who work here, this new plant is decorated with a specially developed color scheme. We're also pretty proud of our ultra-modern air exhaust system. It handles 265,000 cubic feet of air every single minute. It means completely clean air for everyone, in every part of the plant, at all times. Now, watch this.
My, that suction is strong.
Yes, Lucille, our marvelous air exhaust system is important for two reasons. First, we want clean, dust-proof air for the health and comfort of the employees. And the second reason is this. Because the rocket engine is built to such a fine degree of absolute precision, not even the tiniest particle of abrasive dust is allowed to remain in the air. Now, look at this. Conveyors under the floor. As fast as the chips fall, they are literally carried away. This conveyor system has the capacity to carry away more than 4 tons of chips an hour.
Why, all this is wonderful. I call this housekeeping in the modern way.
All very efficient.
Well, as I pointed out before, inasmuch as the rocket engine itself was entirely new in design, the plant too had to be entirely new and advanced in every detail. So every piece of equipment is ultra-modern.
Uh-huh.
For example, take this big machine right here. It's known as an automatic transfer machine. It's used for milling and boring the cylinder blocks. The engine blocks are processed through a whole series of these big machines. The first one takes the rough castings and automatically sends them through a whole series of milling, and reaming operations, all automatically. The lights on the control panel indicate the position, the progress of each block in the machine. This big machine is 86 feet long and is equipped with 20 separate stations, all operating simultaneously by one operator. Here again, the light panel reports the progress of each block within the ingenious machine. Incidentally, this machine contains more than 5 miles of intricate wiring, leading to such mechanisms as the one that automatically gives the block a 90-degree turn, so it can be milled at both ends. At another point, the block is electrically somersaulted, so that the lower surfaces may be machined. Frankly, these amazing machines, some of which have as many as 90 cutting tools operating at the same time, are the envy of the entire industry. Some of these automatic machines are used for work on the cylinder heads, some for work on the exhaust manifolds, and of course some are for machining the connecting rods and other basic parts of the engine. The connecting rods in the rocket engine are extra sturdy yet light in weight. They are made in the I-beam type of construction with extremely high-quality steel.
Gee, this is exciting. And those automatic machines are just, well, really futuramic.
Tell me, don't those machines ever make a mistake?
Well, just to be sure they don't, the plant is completely equipped with the latest and most accurate super automatic inspection devices known.
I see. That practically ensures full volume quality production.
Right. For instance, there's an inspection machine that is used to check and mark the exact size of the bores as each block comes off the conveyor line. First, the block is hydraulically locked in proper position. Then 4 gauging spindles are lowered into the bores. Each spindle is equipped with 4 special air jets. Each jet gives a separate diameter check, which is accurately shown by floats in the sensitive glass tubes on the charts. Not only are tolerances held to within 1/4 of a thousandth of an inch, but the exact size of each bore is recorded in the block itself. The pistons that fit into the cylinder bores are accurately measured and classified according to size. You see, we match the correct size pistons with each bore to obtain maximum power and economy. This worker is reading a teletype message, which indicates the proper size of pistons and their order of assembly in the block. There's a special inspection device for checking the connecting rods and even the volume of the combustion chambers in the cylinder heads. This machine is the most accurate testing device in the industry and works on the same principle as a pipe organ, using sound waves as a measuring device. And these are only a few of the many super automatic inspection devices that maintain the absolute perfection of every part of the engine. And just to be doubly sure, every few hours the super gauges themselves are checked for accuracy against a master gauge.
Tell me, why is it so terribly important that every part of the engine is made to such a, well, precise degree? You know, to the thousandth of an inch.
Well, that's what makes possible the smooth-powered, high-compression rocket engine. That's why this brand-new plant, with its more than 300 machines, is the only one in the world that can build an engine to meet the exacting specifications of the Oldsmobile rocket.
Uh-huh. So this is the only place in the world where rocket engines can be built, huh? That makes my job that much easier.
Not while I'm around. And Lucille, because we do have this modern plant, the facilities to build this engine, it means that, as an Oldsmobile owner, you can enjoy the quiet, smooth, effortless, economic performance of a high-compression engine. An engine as futuramic in design as the car is futuramic in style. And I repeat, that's only possible because of this plant, which was completely designed and built to solve the precision problems in the manufacturing of an engine as superbly singular as the rocket.
Oh, I see.
Hey, that Martin guy's gone. I'd better find him before it's too late. Oh, no, you don't. I told you I was on to you.
What is the matter with you? I was a little hungry. I couldn't resist. Mars bars.
Look, I know why you're here and what you're trying to do. I even know who sent you.
Well, in that case, I'll have to finish my job sooner than I planned.
We'd better go back and join the others.
By all means. Excuse me, where does that conveyor go?
Well, it goes to practically every spot in the plant. You see, we have about 4 miles of conveyor in this plant. Conveyors of all types. Materials are carried directly to each step of the job in every part of the plant.
Marvelous.
We're pretty proud of it ourselves. It helps us turn out 1 rocket engine every minute. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Wait a minute, mister. I think you ought to know that this man is from...
Yes?
Oh, never mind. He's gone again.
Was there anything wrong with that?
I gotta catch him.
Now, here's the beginning of our final assembly line. Look, it's 476 feet long. You'll notice that here the conveyor is flush with the floor. That means that the men can easily walk completely around the engine at any time. And notice, too, that all the parts and sub-assemblies are brought to within easy reach of the workman's fingertips. You see, convenient material handling is a very important part of this unique plant.
Lucille, Martin's gone again. I've looked all over.
Oh, Johnny, why don't you relax?
Oh, there he is.
Say, I got some wonderful pictures. Got some fine material, too.
You have?
I'm glad you have, Mr. Martin. But let's finish our tour, shall we?
By all means. Because of the perfect balancing of the crankshaft and flywheel assembly in this operation, the effective centrifugal force is canceled.
Which means?
Well, Lucille, in non-technical language, it simply means that because of the perfect balance of the rocket engine, vibration is reduced to an absolute minimum. The engine operates smoothly, quietly at all speeds. And what's more, it stays that way for life. It's just like soaring through space.
Soaring through space, eh?
May I borrow your notebook, Mr. Martin? I'd like to make a note, too.
Well,
Thank you. Excuse me.
As you know, the hydraulic valve lifters on the rocket engine automatically maintain a zero lash. Therefore...
Oh, just a minute. Again, it's too technical for me. What do you mean by zero lash?
Well, Lucille, zero lash simply adjusts the valves of your engine automatically. which means more efficient engine operation and lower service costs because of longer valve life. And of course, you have the soft hush, the always quiet whisper of the rocket engine. And here's something else that means ultra smoothness. The automatic spark control on the rocket automatically regulates the engine timing according to the speed of the car as well as the load on the engine.
I didn't know that every little part of an engine could mean so much.
Well, it does. That's why every single part has to be made and assembled with the greatest possible skill and precision. There are 53 major stations on this final assembly line. And as you can see, the work is all beautifully coordinated, with the right part always at the right place at the right moment.
Well, I photographed everything of importance. Now I'd like to jot down these facts and figures before I forget them. You see, these are very important to me in this assignment.
So I can imagine.
Johnny, where did you go?
I just got rid of Mr. Martin's camera.
By the stars, you did.
Johnny, what
Now all I have left is this.
Oh, no, you don't. Hey, are you crazy? Come back here.
Johnny!
What's all the excitement about?
Well,
This is my friend, Mr. Black, from the merchandising department. How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Black?
Do you know who that man is?
Of course, he's an old friend of mine, Billy Martin. Known him for years.
You've known him for years?
At least 20.
Then he's not from Mars.
No. One and only rocket engine plant.
But what about this?
That's my portable inkwell.
Inkwell?
Yes, I was just about to fill my fountain pen and make some more notes. Look. See? Ink.
Well, I'm sorry about... But wait. I saw you on a television broadcast from Mars just last night.
Impossible.
But I did. I saw you on the experimental set, the studio.
Oh, then you saw my rehearsal.
Rehearsal?
Yes, I was filling in for one of the actors in a little play I wrote for television. It's called The Counter-Invasion from Mars.
Johnny, will you ever grow up? The lone rocketeer. Oh, really?
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Martin. I guess I acted kind of stupid.
Forget it, son. Shall we finish our tour through the plant?
I'll see you later, Billy. Hope you get what you want.
Thanks.
And here is the final step, the dynamometer test. Each and every rocket engine is given a 40-minute test run under heavy load. From here, the rocket engines are sent to the main assembly plant, where, combined with the new WWII hydromatic, they form the complete power package in the famous Futuramic Oldsmobiles.
My, this has been thrilling.
It sure has.
Mr. Martin, about your camera and the notes that I destroyed.
Forget about it, son. I've decided not to write that article anyway.
Not write the article.
But
No, sir. I've discovered a new fortune. I'm going to get a job as an Oldsmobile salesman. Why, with this power package, this rocket engine to sell, nothing can stop me.
And we'll be your first customers.
That's a deal.
What a thrill to take the wheel of the smart new Oldsmobile. For performance, here's the star. This is the rocket engine car. Futuramic through and through. It has hydromatic too. When you take the wheel of this Oldsmobile, there's a big new thrill for you.
What is going on? Johnny, you idiot. So, that Oldsmobile is definitely, was Jam Handy territory. So I don't know why this particular film was made by Wilding, which was a totally different company than their competitors with Jam Handy's productions, but they're definitely biting a rhyme. The idea that GM wanted entertaining films to explain the new whatever for these films that they were showing at Oldsmobile dealerships and trade shows and press events, and sometimes probably theaters. They could book out a theater and show it there, but yikes, that went a long way around. Yes, and Brian, you very succinctly pointed out that I showed films that were purportedly about Mars, but weren't really about Mars. They veered off into other directions. So thank you for that. Thanks for sticking around and watching. I should say today is Memorial Day, and I am anti-war. I don't like all the military spending. It's outrageous. But I'm not an idiot. People who lost their lives or gave their lives to basically support our country. And even though our country has lots of problems, I'm not going to fault them for that. So only an idiot would not recognize the important sacrifice that those people made and not honor them. I mean, really, seriously. I'm so furious. But there you go. I'm so furious all the time. But I'm not furious at you. I love you guys. I love that we're at the point where I can start putting shelving up and then eventually start putting films in here. I was going to mow the lawn, but it's raining here in Raleigh, so tomorrow, maybe, or Wednesday. But thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good weekend, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Probably not at this space, because I got other stuff going on, but we'll come back here. Take care. We love you, and we'll see you soon.